Okay, Saul, what holiday is coming up?
Hannukah.
Hannukah! What is Hannukah all about? Is it about more than the dreidel? What? So Saul, I want to tell you a story.
What?
2,200 years ago, there was an empire called Greece. And the emperor of Greece was named Antiochus Epiphanes. So, do you know what Antiochus Epiphanes was all about? He loved Greece. And he thought Greece was the best place ever. And he thought that everybody should speak Greek, eat Greek, food, believe in the Greek gods, dress like the Greeks. And Greece had conquered a big portion of the world, and not everybody that they conquered was Greek. So one of the areas that they controlled was, where do you think?
I don't know.
Israel?
Yes.
Who lived in Israel?
You.
I'm not that old. 2,200 years ago, the Jewish people lived in Israel. So the emperor said, okay, you can't worship your God anymore. You need to worship the Greek gods. So the Greek people wanted the Jewish people to do everything like Greek people. There was a family named the Maccabees. Can you say Maccabees?
Maccabees.
And the Maccabees lived in an area that we call Modi'in. Can you say Modi'in? Modi'in. Now you've been to Modi'in. Do you remember?
No.
Remember the dinosaur park?
Yeah.
And there was also a mall with a big ball pit.
No.
Well, there was, and you were there. We spent some time there last year. So they were from Modi'in, and the family was made up of a dad named Mattathias, and Mattathias had 5 sons. Any guess what their names were? Judah, Eliezer, Simon, John, and Jonathan. So the Maccabees decided, we're not going to let the Greeks take control of what we believe. We want religious freedom. Now, was there a holiday that we recently celebrated where people were seeking religious freedom? What was it?
I don't know.
Maybe the Pilgrims? Were the Pilgrims seeking religious freedom?
Yeah.
And what's that holiday called?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving! And you know that sometimes Hannukah lands on Thanksgiving, and you know what we call it?
What?
Thanksgivicah. The Maccabees were just a small group of people that decided that they wanted religious freedom, and they went after a big army. Does that sound very smart to you?
No.
They won. And so that meant that they could worship their God the way they wanted to. They had to rededicate the temple. And you know what Hannukah means?
What?
Dedication. So they had to rededicate the temple, but to do that, they needed to light their lamp. Well, that's what it was called. It was called the menorah. So they had to light the menorah, and they needed enough oil for 8 days, but they only had enough oil for
7.
1 day. Uh-oh, how are they going to make it last 8 days? Well, that's the miracle, is that they only had enough oil for 1 day, but miraculously, the oil lasted for 8 days so that they had enough time to make more oil. On Hannukah, we play the Dreidel game. So this is a dreidel. And the dreidel has different Hebrew letters on it. The first letter is nun, and nun makes an N sound. Mm.
No, I know.
The next letter is gimel, and gimel makes the what sound? G.
Yay!
And the next letter is hey, and hey makes the what sound? And then there's shin, and shin makes what sound? Okay, so we have nun, gimel, hey, and shin, which stand for Nes Gadol Hayasham. Can you say Nes Gadol Hayasham? Do you know what Nes Gadol Hayasham means?
No.
It means a great miracle happened there. We're going to spin the dreidel. Ooh, spinning, 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 spinning. It's still spinning. There we go. Hey!
Take half! Take half!
Now, hold on one second.
Take half!
Now, whatever letter you land on means a different thing. So we start out, here, I'll take 2 and you take 3. Now we're each gonna put a coin in the middle. So if our dreidel lands on a nun, what happens?
You put 1 in.
No, you get nothing. So nun means none. That's a good way to remember it, isn't it? Land on gadol, what happens?
You put 1 in.
No. Gadol, you take it all. That's a gimel. If you land on hay, what happens? Hay means half, so you take half. And then if you land on shin, what happens?
You put 1 in.
You put 1 in, so put 1 in if you get shin. Okay, perfect. So we got our 2 in here. Now I want you to spin your dreidel. Shin, you put 1 in. Okay, now my turn. Oh, I got shin too. I gotta put 1 in. Now your turn.
You have 9.
I have none now.
That wasn't real.
Try 1 more time.
Why keep getting shin? Oh, here you go. Hey,
Hey, okay, what do you do if you get hay?
take half.
Take half. There you go. Okay, and that is the way to play the dreidel game. Now, can you remind me, what does Hannukah mean again?
I don't know.
Say dedication. Dedication! So something that we try to remember during Hannukah is to dedicate our hearts to what's really important. So we can dedicate our hearts to things like our family and our traditions and our faith. And that's what we should remember during the holiday of Hannukah. I hope you learned a lot. And what's really neat is that when you win these gold coins, what's inside?
Chocolate.
Chocolate! We got chocolate in the coins.
They're open.
You can't spend them like money, but you can definitely eat them.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.